Namaste in the Kutch. Jayom Guru. Good afternoon, good Sunday afternoon to all of my dearly beloved brothers and sisters everywhere all around the world. And thank you for coming together with me again this Sunday, this special Sabbath day of the week, where we take an hour out and get into our Guru's teachings and guidance on how to have our life go in a more harmonious way. So thank you all for coming together with me for this little special hour of the week. So, well, I'll give just a few more minutes for some people to join in. Let's get settled down. Let's get settled in. This is our time that we take to spend with our source. And so let's get rid of all of the worldly distractions and thoughts. Let's close the doors and settle down for a little while. Close the doors of our senses, I'm saying, right? Our eyes, our ears, our smell, our taste. Let's let all that go, our thoughts, let all that go for a while. And let's just think about our source. Think about God, right? That's what this special hour is for. And we might go a little more than an hour. You never know. So, well, as we take just a couple of more minutes for people to join in, just wanted to remind everyone that, well, we're going to first take a look at, well, first things first, of course, right? We're going to have, our Guru's going to guide us in a special, well, kind of an opening prayer, right? To, well, get us a little bit dedicated, right? And seeing God in everything and everywhere all the time. And so we'll sing together a little bit, Oh God, beautiful, call and response, right? And then, of course, we'll have our opening prayer. Then, well, we will look at, with this opening prayer, we'll take this idea of getting closer to Source, right? Because we really want to be as close to Source as we can, as in tune with Source as we can be, right? When I mean close to Source, I mean in harmony with Source, in tune with Source, more like Source. So we'll get in, connected to Source a little more with that prayer, our opening prayer, seeking God first, right? Going within, right? And then, well, we'll take a quick look at these energies of the day for all of our devotees that are working on that cosmic dream spell astrology wisdom. We do first things first. We get in tune with, or a little more in tune with Source. And then we want to get in tune with all the energies that are going on around us. So that's why we take a quick look at the solar frequency and the galactic tone of the day and what they are when they come together. What are we being in tune with, in harmony with, energetically speaking, today? And then we will listen, to our Guru's guidance, our Guru's message for this week, which is a very important message. I think all of us have lots of big eternal questions, and I think this week Guru's answering one of the biggest ones, and that is, why do our loved ones die? Why do people die? Right? That's a big question, right? And so, well, there's so many questions about death. Where do we go when we die? What's going on? How is all this death about? What is this death all about? And it can be a little frightening because, well, maybe we don't understand death. And when you don't understand something, well, that can be a little scary, a little frightening. But when you understand it fully, it's no worry, no fright, no scare in there at all. As a matter of fact, when we understand this thing we call death fully, well, we'll find there's nothing to fear. So, well, today we're looking at just one tiny aspect, right? Why? Why do people die, right? There's so many questions, right? Where does the soul go? Why does it go where it goes? How does the soul come back? All these things. Our soul, will we ever see that soul again? And things like that, right? And so, well, Guru can guide us in all of those. But today, right, let's just take one facet of this idea of death, of dying, right? And Guru's going to explain to us why it is that our loved ones, well, they all die. We all die, eventually. And why? That's a good question. It's a good basic question to start with, I would say, from this, when we're looking at this idea of death and dying. So, I hope I've given enough time for people to, get joined in with us. Let us get settled into our comfortable meditative posture. Let's get started with our Sunday service. And so I always like, this is Guru's message that we're listening to. So we'll hear our Guru's voice first, getting us into this a little closer to Source. And then we'll do our prayer, getting even closer to Source. So, let's get settled down, relaxing into that comfortable meditative posture. Let's close our eyes. Relax. You might want to put your attention at the point between the eyebrows. Just gazing there gently. Relaxing. Don't forget to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow and steady, completely filling and emptying our lungs. Let's put our hands into Namaste in prayer pose in front of our heart chakra. And with our consciousness focusing at our heart chakra, our center of love and compassion, and our attention at that point between our eyebrows, our center of all knowingness, we're becoming connected and thinking of our Source. Just relaxing. Let's breathe in through the nose, slow and steady with a cleansing breath, filling our lungs all the way up. When our lungs are full, then just hold that breath for just a second. And then release. Breathe out through the mouth. Exhale all of the breath, all of the heat and tension and worries. Let them all go with the breath. Just relaxing. Cleansing breath.
Come, sing with me and feel you are singing to His listening presence right within you and around you, everywhere.
Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. Oh God, beautiful. In the forest thou art green. In the mountain thou art high. In the river thou art restless. In thy ocean thou art great. O God beautiful. O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful. To the serviceful thou art service. To the lover thou art love. To the sorrowful thou art sympathy. To thy yogi thou art bliss. O God beautiful. O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful. In the forest thou art green. In the mountain thou art high. In the river thou art restless. In thy ocean thou art great. O God beautiful. O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful. To the serviceful thou art service. To the lover thou art love. To the sorrowful thou art sympathy. To the yogi thou art bliss. O God beautiful. O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful. In the forest thou art green. In the mountain thou art high. In the river thou art restless. In thy ocean thou art great. O God beautiful. O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful. To the serviceful thou art service. To the lover thou art love. To the sorrowful thou art sympathy. To the yogi thou art bliss. O God beautiful. O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. Oh God, beautiful. I always love to sing with Guru. I always love hearing Guru's voice. So, let us go to our opening prayer, where we'll be doing 3 Oms. One for the body, one for the mind, and one for the soul. Bringing in Source just a little more. So let's keep our eyes closed. Let's stay relaxed. Let's keep our hands in that prayer pose. Follow along. Repeat if you can. Remember, we're speaking to God. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your healing presence in our bodies for the good of all, in order to glorify you, so might it be. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your healing presence in our bodies and in our minds, for the good of all, in order to glorify you, so might it be. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your healing presence in our bodies, in our minds, and in our souls. For the good of all, only to glorify you, God. All the glory to you, so might it be. Thank you, God. Thank you for always listening to, hearing, and answering our prayers. Even when the answer is no, we still thank you. Thank you for not giving us the things that wouldn't be good for us. And thank you for answering our greatest prayer, to send Guru to guide us home to you. Thank you, God, for sending Guru. Thank you, Guru, for guiding us. Now, today, all tomorrows, and every instant, in sleep and in wakefulness, in life and in death, in this world and in the beyond. We will to remain yours always. So remain with us as the constantly, consciously responding joy of our hearts. And may your love shine forever on the sanctuary of our devotion, that we may be able to awaken your love in all the sleeping hearts and minds that you send to us. For the good of all, only to glorify you, God. All the glory to you, so might it be. Now, if you want, we can open our eyes, let our hands rest on our laps, or you can keep your eyes closed. Follow along. because we're going to take just a minute now and talk about this dream spell astrology wisdom. What is the energies for today for those that are following along with us with this daily working with this workbook, our dream spell astrology wisdom workbook. So we'll read out of that. But let's take a look. What are the energies for today? And we see that we're looking at this 9th galactic tone, right? This is 1 bar, 4 dots. 1 bar is 5, 4 dots, 1 for each dot. This makes 9, right? And it's coming, this idea, right? It's not just the 9th tone, it actually has an idea associated with it. And we see it says greater cycles, right? So today the tone for the day that is informing the galactic signature kind of how to be today is about greater cycles, right? And what we mean by greater cycles is, well, we have to get in harmony, get in balance before we can move on to greater cycles, right? We have to get into rhythm, right? Get in harmony. And that's what we've been doing leading up to this energy today, to where now we're finally moving on to those greater cycles. And this idea of these greater cycles, right? Greater cycles like, the rhythm of the planet, the rhythm of the stars, the rhythm of nature. Spring, summer, fall, winter, right? Day and night, things like this, these rhythms, these patterns, these cycles, right? And the way the planets are moving around the sun, and the sun is moving around a center as well. And so those are really great cycles, right? And so that's what this tone today is about. We call it Bolin, and it is the 9th galactic tone. It's coming together with this solar frequency that we call Ekbal, right? Ekbal, Ekbal is about, that place of inner stillness. When we close our eyes and go within, it's kind of dark, right? And that inner darkness, that inner stillness, that inner calmness is so peaceful, so nice, right? And so that is what these energies are about today. So, pardon me for just one moment here. I just have to go check on one thing. I had to stop my Sunday service and come over here and speak to you on the other side of the river until I tell you to come back over here. I don't want to hear you arguing during my Sunday service. All right, pardon me for that. Children are playing, that's all. No emergency, no big problem. So let's get back to discussing about these energies for today. Ekbal, place of inner stillness, that dark, peaceful sanctuary within, right? And greater cycles, this idea of greater cycles. These two energies are coming together today to make our galactic signature of the day. And that's what this dream spell, cosmic dream spell astrology wisdom workbook is for, where I've combined the tone and the frequency for us. So a very short little read to see what are these energies when they come together. And what are we trying to be in harmony with? Play match game with? What energy? Energetically speaking, right? What are we playing match game with today? And so today's galactic signature is kin or day 243. Blue solar night is what we call it, right? This is the Ekbal blue night, and we mean the night like going to sleep at night, not a knight in shining armor or anything. And this is that solar tone of intention, right? This ninth galactic tone called Bolin is that solar tone of intention. That's why we call it blue solar night. Bolin Ekbal, right, is how the Mayans would say it. Bolin Ekbal. And after harmonizing the galactic tone of integrity, which was yesterday's energy, today comes the solar tone of intention. Blue solar night, Bolin Ekbal, guides and teaches us to intentionally focus on communing with our intuition through entering the house of night, or in other words, the place of dreams. Going within, we find a place of sacred mystery. Within this inner sanctuary of darkness, we can intentionally commune with our essential self. As we go within and determine our truest aspirations and our highest motivations, we find that the key to actualization is an intentional willingness to physically mobilize in conjunction with the pulsing out of intelligent information. Intention is the power which precedes and supports all manifestation. Right? Nothing could come into being if we didn't intend for it to be. We should never underestimate the power and role of focused intention in harnessing momentum. Blue solar night Bolin Ekbal reminds us to awaken to the natural, limitless abundance that always surrounds us while maintaining our natural state of serenity and peace so that we can commune with our intuition. Blue solar night Bolin Ekbal encourages us to collectively mobilize towards our highest aspirations in order to open doors of unlimited possibility, clarifying our ideal plans and truest motivations, and then send that energy out, both through physical and energetically transmitting our will out into the greater web of life. After setting intentional conscious aim, we are asked to surrender control and release attachments to future outcomes so as to set things in motion, activating the power of inertia to bring forth essential circulation of spirit. Thus, the synergy of reciprocal intelligent energetic vibrations echo like a steady pulsing heartbeat. Very good information for us to know to try to be in harmony with today, right? It says here, after setting intentional conscious aim, which means once we intend to do something, and then we shoot that arrow, right? We are asked to surrender control of that arrow idea that has been shot out into the world, right? We can't do anything about that arrow. Once you draw back the bow and shoot the arrow, you can't do anything. So we have to set conscious, careful, deliberate aim. Know that we're shooting straight. And then once we shoot, we let go of the control of that arrow, of that idea, that arrow of that thought, that arrow of that action. It's already gone. We shouldn't be trying to be attached to what the outcome is, because that is how we find ourselves suffering, right? We may have to go within and sit still and think about these energies today a little bit. Today's the day to do that. A very good day for doing that. So, okay. Now that we've taken a look at our energies of the day, gotten ourselves all in tune here, we're all fine-tuned, right? Because as human beings, right, we are a very intricate, kind of, so you could say, machine, right? And it has to be fine-tuned. We're a very delicate instrument that has to be fine-tuned before we go doing something so important as to focusing all of our attention on our Guru's message for this week, right? A very important message. Question that I'm sure all of us have asked, right? Where or why, not where at all so much, but why is it that our loved ones pass away and end up all leaving us eventually? Before that, though, let's remember our Guru's voice, right, that we listen to. This is a very important aspect of our Sunday service. This is Songs of My Heart by our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. On here, you'll hear his voice, right? He's singing, he's chanting, he's praying, and really from his heart, you really feel his heart. This is if you want to get in tune with Guru, okay? You might want to consider, you can even just download it, I think, on, if you can't afford to buy it, or you can get it and have this CD for yourself. I've actually worn out a couple of them because I listen to them all the time. And, of course, we're going to be listening to we always love to listen to our Guru's voice at our Sunday gathering. So, in case it's something you might be interested in, Songs of My Heart from our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. So then, let us turn our attention then to our Guru's teachings. We might want to keep our eyes closed, maybe. Just sit back and listen. Because Guru has a very special and important message for us this week. Guru's answering one of those eternal questions that we all have, right? Why is it that our loved ones die? And Paramahansa Yogananda guides us by saying that God was not satisfied with creating only fruits and flowers and the scenic beauty of nature to entertain all of us. So God took the form of parents, right? To protect infants, right? And then, of course, not satisfied with just protecting infants through this, this compelling, instinctive feeling of parents for their children. Then God took the forms of friends, right? In order to extend unlimited love to all people, to learn how to do it, Thus, God's love is playing hide and seek in human hearts, you could kind of say, right? You see, the baby grows up loving its parents, right? Naturally. And that child, it grows into adulthood, and eventually their parents do die. And they feel a pang within over this lost love of their mother or their father. And then people, well, they seek solace by falling in love with someone, right? And they find a powerful matrimonial love that is swaying their heart. That love is eclipsing, isn't it? It's eclipsing all other forms of parental and friendly loves. And then as time goes on, of course, many years, people lose that first adore, that powerful, loving, matrimonial love. It's kind of a material love, isn't it? And they wonder, where has my overwhelming love for my beloved, where has it gone? Why did it fly? Why did it flee? Why did my love run away from me like a dream? You know? You see, often, we see that these aged couples have developed a material attachment and a friendly understanding for each other. But can they ever again love each other with that original passionate love of their youth? You see, love hides behind the screen of that material attachment stuff, nearly always remaining hidden there, almost never coming out to display its heart-dissolving form. You see, when our parents die and we lose their love, and then when we are old and can no longer feel that youthful ardor of conjugal love, remember, brothers and sisters, all love is not lost then. You see, real love, the real love is still hiding in everything, everywhere, in the flowers, in the so-called dumb stars, everywhere in this material world, so that we may find it again and behold it then decorated with robes of eternal splendor, where the love of all beings twinkles like ever-shining stardust. Why should we, love those that are near to us so dearly forever and ever and ever and ever, when they are only impermanent bubbles of our own fancy? Now, if you love your husband because of his money, then you do not know what love is. If you adore your beloved because of her beautiful body, then you do not know what love is. If you love your friends because they help you with money, prestige, or maybe some power, then again, you do not know what love is. You see, love does not grow in emptiness, you see, but at the same time, it is born in parental, matrimonial, and other friendship kind of loves, or in some form of service. But nevertheless, love cannot be imprisoned in the chamber of material or psychological usefulness. Love is supreme unselfishness in its own self. Now, if that cosmic love reigns in your heart, then it will be supremely useful to you It will impart to you such undying and refreshing, ever fresh happiness as nothing else in this entire world can do. That is why, although cosmic love peeps through the little windows of various forms of human love and these things, the minute you think that you've seen it, it keeps shifting until you are able to behold its omnipresent beingness through the frameless opening of your cosmic consciousness, right? The unlimited consciousness. And why does nature make us love some people so dearly and then snatch them away from us, right? From our view, from our presence? The answer is because that love is playing hide and seek in life. And it's hiding behind death as well. So that we will be seeking it and finding its secret burrow within omnipresence. And you know, pains in our body warns us of our hygienic discretions. It creates within us this desire of health. And hunger was given to people so that, well, people would seek food. And reason was given to people, well, so that we might continuously use it until we find the answer to all the questions of the universe. Now, at the death of our loved ones, we are left with a spark of undying heart pang. And that is so that we may fan that into a flame of wisdom, in whose light we may behold all of our lost loved ones. You see, through the death of people near us, we learn to seek the mystery of life and then to share with others, well, the love that we have so far only felt, well, for those who have passed on, right? You see, death is a portal through which the soul enters into the imperishable kingdom as it leaves this transitory body. You see, death teaches us not to place our reliance on this transient fleshy vehicle, but instead on God eternal. Therefore, death could be seen as a friend. And we shouldn't grieve unduly about the passing of our loved ones. You see, it could be seen as selfish that we desire that they're always staying with us for our own pleasure, for our own comfort. We should rather rejoice that they have been summoned to advance towards soul freedom and to a new and better environment of an astral world. You see, the sorrow of separation causes most people to cry for a while, but then they forget. But the wise, they feel impelled to seek and find their vanished dear ones in the heart of the eternal. You see, what devotees lose in this finite life, we find it again in the infinite. Infinite love races through these mazes of life and death to lead us to the land where it shines in all of its brilliance. For even in death, love lives on, doesn't it? Cosmic love, God's divine love. It has to destroy the windows of mortal love in minds in order to show itself in its true form. You see, the moon laughs at all those lovers who have sworn their eternal love to their beloveds. You see, their skulls are now strewn in their graves, and they can no longer even speak to each other, can they? Yet cosmic love says something different. Cosmic love says, let the moon and destiny laugh at human lovers, but they cannot laugh at me. It is I who have broken their prison and bones and strewn their skeletal debris in graves, because mortal people want to cage God in a body forever. But although God has broken the body temple of lovers and let their love be laughed at, it was to coax their souls to follow the trail of heart pangs, until now, finally, they will find God's hiding place in the breast of all space, within the contents of everything. And here all lovers will rest with the Lord in unending, ever new happiness. It is that God's undying love that they all sought in parental, matrimonial, friendly, patriotic, social, and divine love. You see, my brothers and sisters, divine love says to all, I give you many objects of love, so that you may learn to love me, God, the Lord, behind them all, and not one object alone. If you love God, then you will see God in all beings, in all things. If you love God, then you will love God not in just one being alone, but in all beings. Remember, if you dare to try to cage God in one soul, well, God will have to destroy that body frame that holds it, until we all learn to find God in all beings of all God's creation, in all of God's creation everywhere, until we can find and see and know God in everything, as everything, everywhere, all the time. Until then. What a powerful message from our Guru, guiding us on why a soul must move on and advance. All souls do it. It's a very huge department of our life, isn't it? And we'll be talking more about it. A lot of my brothers and sisters are struggling with this idea of death. And when we don't understand it, well, we fear what we don't understand, isn't it? And so we're going to put real understanding about this death thing to eliminate the fear. We'll share in some talks, right, of talking about what is death, what is it all about, why do we die, where do we go, how can we get beyond that, right? Isn't that the part of the good news that Christ brought for us? Christ taught us that we can rise above death as he did, and as many others have done. And if we follow their guide, their teaching, their wisdoms, then we can attain their same understanding. And that's what we're doing here, together, in love and fellowship. And of course, Guru has a wonderful story to share with us this week about this idea of souls moving on, right? And our Guru relates this story from it's in the autobiography of a yogi. It's an incident that occurred shortly after he had founded his Yagoda Satsanga school in Ranchi in 1917, I believe it was. And the name of this little story, Guru says, is The Pet Deer. It's a true story of a life experience. And Guru said, with 25 fertile acres at our disposal, the students, the teachers, and I, Guru, enjoyed daily gardening and work outside in the fresh air. And we had many pets, Guru said. And there was a little fawn that was very much idolized by the children. And Yogananda said that I loved it so much I would even allow it to sleep in my room. And at the light of dawn, the little creature would toddle over to Guru's bed for a morning caress. And Guru goes on to say that one day, because of some business that would require his attention in the town of Ranchi, he fed the pet deer earlier than usual and instructed the boys not to feed the fawn until his return. Well, one of the lads, a little mischief, I guess, disobeyed and gave the baby deer a large amount of milk. And when Guru got back, sad news greeted him. The fawn was nearly dead through overeating. And in tears, Guru said. Guru said he was in tears. And he placed this apparently lifeless fawn on his lap, and he prayed piteously to God to spare the deer's life. And hours later, the small deer opened its eyes and walked feebly a little bit. And the whole school shouted with joy. But Guru goes on to say that a deep lesson came to him that night. He says one he will never forget. He said he stayed up with the fawn until 2 a.m, and then he dozed off, went to sleep. And the deer came to him in a dream, and it spoke to him, and it said, "You're holding me back. Please, let me go, let me go." And Guru answered in his dream, and he said, "All right, of course." And Guru immediately woke up and cried to the boys. He said, "Boys, the deer is dying now." And the boys rushed to his side. And Guru ran to the corner where he had placed that little deer. And it made a last effort to rise, stumbled a few steps towards Guru, and dropped at Guru's feet, dead. According to the mass karma that guides and regulates the destiny of animals, the deer's life was over. And it was ready, that soul was ready to progress to a higher form. But by Guru's deep attachment, he said, which he later realized was selfish, he said, and by his fervent prayers, he was able to hold that soul in the limitations of the animal form from which that soul was struggling for release. The soul of that deer made its plea in a dream, because Guru said, without my loving permission, it either would not or could not go on. And as soon as Guru agreed, that soul departed. And Paramahansa Yogananda goes on to say that all sorrow left me, he said. He said, I realized anew that God wants God's children to love everything as part of God. Everyone, everything, everywhere. and not to feel delusively that death ends all. You see, it is the ignorant person that sees only the unsurmountable wall of death, hiding seemingly forever their cherished friends and loved ones. But those people of unattachment, who love others as expressions of the Creator, right, of God, then they understand that at death their dear ones have only returned for a little bit of a breathing space of joy in God, in our Creator. You know, kind of a little respite, a little break, a little rest in peace from this chaotic, heavy, gross, material existence here. Isn't it? Oh, what a wonderful, deep, and meaningful story from our Guru to help us understand this thing we call death and dying, and this transition of our soul as it's making its journey, evolving step by step, up, evolving upwards. We always evolve upwards. It's how God designed it. So let us share a beautiful prayer or mantra, poem, whatever you want to call it. You could call it an affirmation from our Guru Paramahansa Yogananda that is entitled The Slender Taper of My Love. You know, our love for God, it is eternal, right? It can't die. It's like a flame, an eternal flame. Yes? And so this little prayer is from Metaphysical Meditations. Usually we talk from Whispers from Eternity, but today it is Metaphysical Meditations, just in case anybody would like to find it and read it for themselves. Because I always say, don't just believe me, check it out. So, The Slender Taper of My Love by our Guru Paramahansa Yogananda. Oh Lord, perfume of hearts and roses, I mind not how many days of scalding sorrow crossed the threshold of my life to search and test me. Lord, through your blessings, may they remind me of my errors that have kept me away from you, God. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, I care not if all things are wrestled away from me by my self-created destiny, but I lovingly demand of you, my own, to guide and guard the slender taper of my love for you, Lord. Thank you, God. I love you. Beautiful words from our Guru, from Metaphysical Meditations. A very powerful, wonderful book that I highly recommend, that if you're serious about meditation, this kind of meditation that Guru teaches, you might want that book. And so that is our message from our Guru this week, guiding us on this idea of why our loved ones pass away. And what's going on with this why of this soul leaving us behind, so to speak. You see, Guru's guiding us with the truth, and it is the truth that's setting us free, right? We're in fear because we don't know. And when we know the truth, then we're free from that fear and that suffering that comes with it. So as we come to the closing of our Sunday spiritual gathering, I would like to remind us to live softly on this earth in the light of God's way. Let's settle down. Let's get back into our comfortable meditative posture if we've gotten out of it. And let's join together in our closing prayer, in our closing hymn. Let's be in that comfortable meditative posture with that erect spine, gazing at this point between our eyebrows, the Katashta Titania, and bringing our attention to our third eye chakra, our center of all knowingness. Let's have our hands in Namaste in front of our heart chakra, connecting our center of love and compassion with our all-knowing center of our third eye, talking to God in the language of our heart, talking and singing to our Creator from our soul, not to each other, to our Lord. It's very personal between you and your source. Remember to breathe and relax. Grandmother, grandfather, oh my great and wondrous Creator. We are sending our voice to the great and wondrous Creator this beautiful day, giving you thanks for our lives. We are the new people you have dreamed of so long ago. We've come stumbling here, seeking to find our way into the new. As we continue our exploration, we look to the past and honor our mothers and fathers, our grandfathers and grandmothers, who went before us and who made all these things and who made our lives. We've come before you today, neither women nor men, but souls, bearing the traditional offerings as you have so seen fit, to honor the past and to pray for our ancestors and to ask for their help. Help us to find our way into this new world and to be in good relationships with all the people of all the colors, of all the traditions, for the good of all, only to glorify you, God. All the glory to you, so might it be. My Lord, I will to be yours always. My Lord, I will to be thine always. I may go far, farther than the stars. I may go far, farther than the stars. But I will to be thine always. My Lord, I will to be thine always. Devotees may come, devotees may go. Devotees may come, devotees may go, but I will to be thine always. My Lord, I will to be thine always. When I die, look into my eyes. When I die, look into my eyes. They will mutely say, I will to be thine always. My Lord, I will to be thine always. I may go far, farther than the stars. Devotees may come, devotees may go, but I will to be thine always. My Lord, I will to be thine always. When I die, look into my eyes. When I die, look into my eyes. They will mutely say, I will to be thine always. My Lord, I will to be thine always. My God, I will to be thine always. Om. Om. Thank you all. God bless us all. Namaste and Lakesh Jayom Guru. Have a great rest of the day and a great rest of your weekend. Looking forward to seeing you all again next week. Bye now.